Wallows is a place. It's a real place in Hawaii that's like a wash behind these houses where like skateboarders go. And Braeden played an old Tony Hawk game. You can actually play Wallows in that game, which is kind of like where it originally came from. But then when we were deciding on the band name, Dylan convinced us for like a deeper reason, which is...
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, what?
A year ago, Wallows burst onto the scene with their moody, lo-fi anthem, Pleaser, a confident debut that established their knack for voicing typical teenage melancholy through fast guitar riffs and punchy hooks. But it's best not to put Wallows in a box. The Los Angeles trio of Dylan Minnette, Braeden Lemasters, and Preston have been honing their indie sound and technical prowess for nearly a decade. On their debut EP, Spring, the best friends and bandmates demonstrate their diverse musical tastes through 6 breezy tracks perfect for summoning those sunshine vibes, all while reckoning with the sometimes confusing and always complicated feelings of growing up.
When Dylan and I write lyrics, I guess it does have to do a lot with, just leaving the youth behind, and we kind of wanted that to be a theme for the first couple songs and maybe the songs going forward, just because it's so, accessible to us right now because we're kind of doing that. We have happy songs too, like we have a song called Hawaiian Sun that you'll probably never hear, but it's very happy, I swear.
The frontmen also have plenty of shared coming-of-age experiences to pull from. They've been best friends since age 9 when Minnette moved to Los Angeles from the Midwest to kickstart his Hollywood career. Their moms had connected in a chat room for child actors, and it didn't take long for him and Lemasters to bond over their shared interests in acting, video games, and honey mustard. But it wasn't until a few months later when they discovered they had another mutual love, the Beatles.
We started when we were like 9, 10 years old, like me and Dylan met each other, and then we started bonding over our love of classic rock music that our dad showed us.
I remember I was singing a lot of Abbey Road in my basement back in Indiana when I was like 4 years old. I was obsessed with Abbey Road and any sort of like classic rock that my dad or my parents would play. My
dad is like the biggest Beatles fan of all time. So then I remember I was listening to like a bunch of like, whatever music 9-year-olds listen to. And then I remember my dad showed me like Sgt. Pepper or whatever, and it just blew my 9-year-old mind. I was like, what is this? So then my dad taught me how to play guitar.
The Beatles' influence is most noticeable on the simple, introspective love song, Let the Sun In.
Well, honey, I just wanna let the sun in, let the day just come and go.
By the time they met drummer Preston at a youth music program, Lemasters and Minnette were already writing music together, but Preston made their lineup complete. And you can thank him for the band's indie rock sensibilities.
I feel like one of my roles in the band was just like poisoning our brains with like newer other music when we were like 12, 13. And then since then we all just share each other. Like our taste is kind of just molded into the same thing.
You were the catalyst for like a lot of the music we got into. I remember when he first played me on the way to practice one day when I was like 13 or 14, Favorite Worst Nightmare by Arctic Monkeys. I was like, wait, this is really cool. Who are these guys? And just kind of all spiraled from there. Our sound definitely started off sounding like classic rock because it's what us youngsters were influenced by. And then I feel like it's been a reflection of the stuff we've been listening to over the years. What inspires us more are artists like Tyler the Creator or like Frank Ocean or someone who like Clairo, who just like has just kind of, I feel like is setting up an empire for herself right now just by being awesome in her bedroom. I just feel like our sound, we don't want to be limited to any one thing within or outside of our music. Just kind of make whatever music we feel and hope people accept it.
Nearly a decade later, and Wallows are still defying their own expectations. What started as a dream amongst best friends has led to sold-out venues, blissed-out crowds, and a debut LP on the way. Of course, they wouldn't be Wallows if they weren't already overthinking it.
A debut album has been so important to us growing up because you just like study debut albums and like how artists do it, and it's weird that we're just about to do that. My dream scenario would be to have a cross between like Funeral, Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not by Arctic Monkeys, Currents by Tame Impala, and Blonde by Frank Ocean. If you could fall somewhere in that category, maybe some Flower Boy, Tyler the Creator, and some St. Vincent, we'd be in a good place.